I meant to post this a couple days ago, long before the Cybertron was destroyed. I'm Max Lofart here, TJ Embex. Today's subject: theme songs and remixes. First, we're gonna start with a remix. Damn, this project takes forever to load. Alright. Well, let's break out our handy dandy notepad. That's right, kids, notepad. Before we can start this shit. Alright. Font. I want my font to be sexy, my bad. Fucking. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Alright. Number one. No. Sorry if I'm looking like I'm bullshitting. Fucking. Alright, there we go. That's cool. Number one. Remixes. Alright. I'm being a bad teacher. Number one. Analyze. Whatever. Analyze the song's flow and song format. So basically, this is Queen, fucking We Will Rock You. Yeah, what I did was sorry if my computer's acting slow. I've been doing a lot of shit. Alright, first thing you want to do is boom boom ksh, boom boom ksh, boom boom ksh. Basic like drums and kicks to it. And that goes down to an 8-beat count. Vocals. Chorus. Bridge. Second verse. Second chorus. Bridge. Third chorus. Third verse actually. Then there's the chorus. That's basically chorus, bridge, build up, chorus, bridge, build up, outro. And there's also intro. I basically took the middle of it, and that is the first verse, chorus, second verse, chorus, samples. So first you create your own outro. Then what I did was I matched up the drums to match the song. And then I added a synth layer in there, 3x OSC and Silence, and a little synth, a little yoy in there. And then of course, 3x OSC I use for sub basses. What is it in the film? And some other shit, build up, vocal. Make a big noise. And then after that, you make the drop. I made it after 50 seconds. But basically, sub bass build-ups. After that, vocal write-up, second part of the drop. Transition, and then other verse, chorus. Because I basically just cut it in half because it was so short. Second build up, second drop, second half of the drop. Recorded sample that I made with the glitchiness, outro ride, and then it just fades away. Now remix is what you want to do is you gotta make sure you EQ the sample that you have. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by EQing. Don't worry about redlining, it's 1.2 decibels. EQ, delay, and reverb, so that way it flows nicely. Cut the bass over a little bit, raise the treble up a bit. That way it sounded high Q. After that, everything has to flow nicely. Like everything has to be right and beat counter, especially for DJs. Like you have to make sure that's good enough for them to play. Fucking After that, it's all about cutting, sampling, cutting, sampling, 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 cutting, sampling. Another example is the Lady Gaga remix that I made. Fucking so I mean, have a good remix. Analyze the keys also. Analyze the keys of the song. Damn it. Like if it's in an A minor, D minor, if it's in a low note, mid note, high note, you gotta analyze everything, make sure it flows nicely. It also sounds shit. Number 3. Percussion. Don't overdo the percussion. Or it'll sound cluttered. What I had in here was fucking, what up, damn regular half I cut in half. And of course a short ride. And of course this part, open hat, ride, everything, and then some hi-hats that were also cut in half. All put it mid-range so they weren't too much in the song. So number 3. Number 4 actually. Has to flow nicely. Like water. Water. Number 5. Make sure you EQ the samples to go well with the song. If it's too high, too low, too mid, you have to make sure everything sounds right or it will sound like shit and no one will play it live. Number 6. Add your own different sound in there. Like the, what's it called? All the other kids with the pimped up kicks, dubstep remix. That was just like really boring for me because it just sounded like the original, and the bass lines were basically matching how the song was, and there was nothing different about it. So number 7, it's all about originality. 8, surprise people, and if you want, add different samples that would go well with the song. Basically, when I did fucking Brain Sparks, I added some Sonic the Hedgehog 2 samples in there to spice it up a bit, just like a Porter Robinson used Super Mario samples in this track. It's basically all about adding your own style to it. And then of course I use all the different things with it. Had to make sure the sub bass and everything was matched up right. Now, number 9. EQ the vocals. Big importance. If the vocals are fucked up, you fuck up the original song and no one wants to listen to it or the rest of your music because you're messing up good songs and making them sound like crap. And it's something you really don't want to do. Oh, if you're wondering what this is, I sped up the kicks a bit. 2 bass drums layered, 2 different snares, and fucking all that. So, number 10. The last one would be if you make it sound like the original, make it good. When I remixed the Lady Gaga Bad Romance, I made it sound exactly like the original, but not exactly like the original. So that's the thing you want to keep in mind. Oh, nice. Yeah, my roommate is such a gangster. What was the other one? I'm looking for 40. The next one we're gonna get on is theme songs. Remixes really just don't take that much. They just take a lot of remixing. So I think it's boobs. It might be boobs, or it might be cow, or it might be horns. What the fuck is horns? What the fuck? What am I doing in my spare time? What are these kids at the pool? My computer's so slow today. Alright. Well, since you got remixes down, I'll just fucking start this until it loads up. Themes. Pick a theme and stick to it. You don't want to make a theme song and make it all random and shit, because no one will really know what the hell's going on. It could be a bunch of random sounds that they really don't know, and it's something that nobody really likes. You know, like, when I made Be Safe Out There, it was basically, you know, guy got shot, samples of an ambulance, samples of people, like, you know, talking, samples of women crying, blah, 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 and there's samples of me in there. So I made sure that everything, yeah, this is right here, everything sounded straight on point. Nothing was, like, random. There was no random cat samples. There was no Nyan cat. So, you know, it has to be exactly the way that you want it to be. If it's going to be a shootout, it has to be a shootout. Like, it has to be exactly what it has to be. If it's, like, what's it called? Street Fighter, you have to use Street Fighter samples, only Street Fighter samples. So, you know, and the pianos in there, different pianos, different sounds, different automations, effects, you know. Like, oh my god, like, it still has to sound like a catchy, hard-hitting song. So it still has to sound like EDM. It's not a pop song. It's not where you make a song and it's based on your emotion and basically make everything dark and deep and so depressing without the right samples. Like, you can't have samples of SpongeBob in there and have a lot of low key notes from a keyboard. Like, no, everything has to sound good. Which brings me to 3. Of course, EQ each sample separately. If you do not EQ it, and you think they sound good the way they are, double check your eardrum, because there's something going on. Everything has to flow nicely, no matter what. Now, if you're going to draw a plot, stick to a plot. Which means whatever happens in the song, if you're portraying a story, it has to sound the way that you would want it to sound. As for an instance, in the beginning of the song, it's like, oh, I got shot, oh, bass drop, I dropped to the floor, beep sounds, and fucking ERs going off, people talking, screaming, shit like that. Then there's that random beat that's just slowing down because I'm sadly dying. There's just sad piano playing because I'm drifting off into purgatory. And then the drop is basically hell. And then it goes to heaven. And then it goes to hell. Then it goes to heaven. And then it goes back to purgatory. Now I'm lost again. And there's the build up. And I go back to hell. And then I come back out. And then I found my peace. And this is where it's just me lost in space. So it's basically like, I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm worried about it. Which is basically the part of the song, which is called Be Safe Out There. So anybody could die. And that's basically what I stuck to. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to incorporate the samples with the drop, Bible. All because you have the drop going, it's supposed to be fucking progressive and loud and shit, doesn't mean that you stop using the samples that you used earlier. And it's just going to be random, drop, random, drop, random, drop. And people are going to be like, well, this is just a bunch of fucking noise. It has to, you have to feel how people feel. You have to research. Research how people react and act depending on your theme. I've done another theme song called Homegrown, where I use nothing but guitar plucks and banjos and kazoos and shit, along with simple but minimal house kicks back in the day, and sliding country guitars. That's why I'm like, yeah. That's why I'm like, if you're gonna stick to a theme, you have to stick to a theme. I'm hoping this didn't fuck up the recording. Swear to God, man. Whatever, my bad. Yeah, there we go. Alright, anyway. There was another one called Dios Mio, where I made a song about Mexican whores, and I used myself as a Mexican whore saying, "Ay, Dios Mio," and it was me doing vocals about sucking socks and dicks and shit. And the drop was more like a stripper type of drop. So if you stick to it, stick to it. If you don't, don't. Just forget about it. You know. Which brings me to number 7. Don't use any old sample. Make sure it's the right one. Okay. If you're gonna add, like I said earlier, you're not gonna add a bunch of good samples and add a meow in there, a cat bark, or probably a door closing. It all has to sound like a movie. Like if somebody was getting stabbed in the chest, it has to sound like stab marks. Somebody getting thrown, people were going It has to sound that way, you know? It can't just be like, what the fuck. I'm gonna try to play for you. Oh my god. Okay, please. Zipper closing up when he dies. Oh my god. You see, it has to sound just a little bit like that. Don't forget your sub bass. I have a video about that. So if you're going to use any song, you're going to use a whole pile of crazy synths, do not forget to match your sub bass. Don't forget to match your sub basses with your sounds, okay? No matter what you think, sub bass makes it all better. Cream in the pot, nigga. We about to roll. Alright, Apocalypse, that was another theme song that I made back in 2011, where I used a bunch of samples of people on the news, people dying, shit blowing up, and then the drop was basically aliens with lasers. I mean, you just gotta stick to what it means. If you run out of ideas, watch movies. Movies are all about theme, and if you watch a movie about a good theme, you'll finally have something in your mind, and shit will come left and right. But don't forget to make sure you have the format, which is basically intro, bridge, build up, drop, bridge, build up, drop, and then bridge, outro. And so it has to sound just like a real EDM song. You can't just knock it out of nowhere like water. Anyway, last but not least, render most of your songs, if using FL, kinda the way I do, which is 192 kps and MP3 format. Make sure you render it the right way, and if you don't know if your song is sounding right, do what I do. Load up Serato Scratch Live, play the song, read the spectrograms, bass, mid frequency to high frequency. Greenish is basically vocals, bass, that. Now, let me show you the difference, because if you've seen and used Serato and probably seen this, I'll show you the fucking... Now this purple, that's bass and high frequency. Very high frequency. Vocal. Kick, mid frequency, and then when it's red, it's bassy. It's a good part. Make sure you don't saturate your fucking snare. That thing counts as good as anything else. When it's purple like this is really bassy, but at the same time, really high frequency, which is very unique to get. Basically, this is super bassy, which means that you did not EQ it right. Still not EQ'd good right. Still not EQ'd 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 right. and too high frequency. And you see, those fucking snares will chop you in the fucking ear. Which means the pitch should have been lowered a little bit to make sure that when you're playing this live, it isn't cutting people in the ear when they're close to the speaker or anywhere near a speaker. This is perfectly fine. The only problem with this song is that, you see, that's where the snare is, but there's no snare. It's just a high frequency bright noise. Bright noise is bright blue. Let me show you how your snare's supposed to look. If I could, let me just go to fucking new EP. No. I'm gonna go mainstream and just use fucking levels. You see how that looks? That purple? That means it's a bit bassy, but it's also a snare. See, when the drop comes, you don't want to oversaturate your kick and your snare, because that's perfect, because drums matter. So if you're making a bunch of random sounds and you're not using kick, snare, and hi-hats, that's not good. So like I said, make sure you stick to it, EQ everything, compress it, and check your serato, or try it to wherever you use. I hope this has helped you in some way, and remember, if you use a theme, make sure it's exciting, make sure you stick to all this. If you use a remix, make sure that everything you follow these steps, and it will be fine. They will be fine. Fine. Forward. Yeah, I'm DJ Embex, signing out. If you have any questions, put it in the comment box. Yeah, if you want to hear a remix, I have one, which I'll be putting right here. The new Queen, We Will Rock You drum step remix. Check it out, and I'll catch you later. How you catch you later? Oh, that's how you catch you later.